What's up, y'all? We're here. We're back, and boy, are we in a great mood, and for great reason. The Broncos actually won. Man, we had to wait for October to get a win. How about that? Wait till October to get a win. I mean, this kind of happened at least once under the Fangio regime, but whatever, it is what it is. I'm not even tripping on that anymore. Either way, Vance Joseph saved his job, or at least from the looks of things, it seems like he has, at least for now. We'll see how that goes, especially with the way things were throughout. I mean, I can't even begin to say how irritating it was to watch throughout, especially for the fact Denver actually started off good. They actually got the first score of the game. I didn't even think about it like this, but it was actually their first lead since it was 28 to whatever when Washington was marching on us, and they ended up taking the lead from us, but, you know, neither here nor there. First lead since that shit. Anyway, yeah, first lead, but then we got 28 unanswered. And that was even into the second half. I mean, we had a lame first 3 and out where, actually, no, I take that back. No, it was 3 and out. It was only 3 plays for 4 yards. I mean, that's the kind of shit we need to be seeing right now with this offense. But nonetheless, I mean, they eventually got to figuring it out because after it got to being 28 to 7, for whatever reason, things just started turning around. We actually score on the next drive, which was a 4-yard pass to Brandon Johnson, and then force a punt on the next play, score another touchdown. That one was to Cortland Sutton, and then the following score was probably the best and most important one of all, as there was a combination of Nick Benito and Jonathan Cooper getting pressure in on Justin Fields to force the scoop and score. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And I just can't help but understand why we haven't been seeing this sooner. I mean, we were getting a lot more pressure, to say the very least. I'm going to take a look at the exact number on that. But while we're talking about numbers, I'm also looking at it right here. Justin Fields, 28 of 35 passing for 335 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the one crucial interception, which we'll talk about in a moment. But Khalil Herbert was also a story here. I mean, he wasn't necessarily Devon A-Chan or A-Chain or whatever the hell he's calling himself now. I mean, I'm hoping that's just a phase and he kind of grows out of that, because I'm thinking they got humbled today a little bit, but neither here nor there. And then, of course, DJ Moore had 8 catches for 131 yards. What they didn't talk about was Cole Kmet, 7 catches, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, it was actually rather disturbing to watch how much Cole Kmet was fucking the defense up. I mean, just whooping their asses. Like, I mean, DJ Moore was giving it to him even worse. And really, it was more Khalil Herbert on the ground than anything else, but he did get a receiving touchdown. Not that that makes things any better, but that was literally what we were getting throughout, really, I'd say about maybe 2.5 quarters or so. Then things actually started turning around to those stops that I mentioned. And then, of course, we get a go-ahead field goal from Will Lutz. I'm glad he's actually figuring it out, because, man, that Raiders game really pissed me off. But I will say, I'm not as mad about that now. And believe me when I tell you, it is going to be for good cause. Let's just leave it at that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it was just crazy because we actually saw the Broncos get pressure on this dude. And let's see, we got 2.5 sacks from Benito. I didn't realize he put it down like that. That other half actually went to Zach Allen, and he was actually doing work. Jonathan Cooper with another sack, tackle for loss. But again, he's the one that got the scoop and score that tied the ball game. And of course, from there, we get the Will Lutz go-ahead field goal, all for Justin Fields to have 2 minutes, or excuse me, it was like 1:46 with 1 timeout. And he started it off well enough, got to about midfield, and then of course the offensive line fails him with a false start. And the next thing you know, they're gone back. They're second, and I believe it was 22 or something like that on their 39. And it didn't really get much better. I mean, they managed to get a good chunk of that back to get a 3rd and 5 going. But all that happened from there is Fields actually alligator arms it a bit in terms of getting it to the outside shoulder. I'm not sure who it was, but again, Kareem Jackson was there to save the day, and that's how we get here. I mean, it's just amazing because I'm about to listen to the the rallying speech in the locker room and everything. But for me, I don't know what made it so difficult for the Broncos to get to this point, but I'm glad to see it. It's the kind of turnaround that I think they've been looking for, and I know that we've all been waiting for. And more than anything else, I would like to think there's going to be more to come, because I'm thinking about guys that have been out inactives like J.L. Skinner, Josie Jewell, who was injured last week. Justin Simmons tried to give it a go, but was ending up being a no-go. Mike Purcell wound up not playing. Of course, Caden Stearns has been out for a bit. I'm not sure if we're getting him back or not. P.J. Locke has been out for a little bit. I think Riley Moss has been inactive. I mean, quite a few names and bodies that we could literally use right now, but most notably Baron Browning. I mean, I kind of feel like he's a bit of a missing link at this point, and if we get him into the fold with the flashes that he was showing last season, I mean, I can't but help but think he's going to end up being better than he was last year. And as long as we got the rest of the crew, we didn't even have Frank Clark for crying out loud. I mean, it was just that kind of thing. And it just felt like those injuries were going to just haunt us again, but somehow next man up finally became a thing. And I'm here for it. So hopefully it continues to be a thing. Hopefully we get guys back, namely Simmons, and I'm thinking J.L. Skinner, whoever else. I'm not sure who. I mean, I don't know all the details on that. I'm going to see what I can do to find that out. But either way, I'm just looking forward to things turning around. I mean, and how can they not? We got the Jets next week. I mean, enough said there. I mean, granted, Sean Payton went talking all that shit throughout the earlier or the latter parts of the off season, and all the things that he said about Nathaniel Hackett, even though he was right. But at least Hackett was actually winning those games. Now we can actually throw that to the side just a little bit, and we'll see what we got going here. And it's really amazing because I don't know why I have that up still, but I'm thinking about this, and it's just funny because, again, going back to all the shit that Sean Payton was talking, you had Aaron Rodgers coming through, like, keep my coach's name out your mouth and everything. Like, he was going to get all brolic about it, and he didn't even last more than 4 plays in the home opener. I mean, if it doesn't get any more freaking tragic than that, I don't know what else is. But at the same time, though, I'm going to take a look at this here because there is that. That is a bright spot to look forward to with this win. However, I'm not sure how much brighter it's going to get from here, because after that, we got Kansas City on the road. Thursday night game. 4 nights immediately after the Jets game. Love that as a thing. And then we have Green Bay at home. I mean, one thing I can say about Green Bay, they're not the Green Bay of old. I mean, it's a kind of thing to where, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, even if he was still there, I feel like that's got to be a win. Like, somehow, some way, there's no way that's not a win. But, you know, I mean, that just, I guess we'll find out about that one way or another. And then, of course, we got Kansas City at home right after that, right before going into the bye. So, 2 games against Kansas City. I mean, at least the 2 with New York and Green Bay, respectively, look like they're going to be winnable games. But, you know, we need to see a lot more of what we saw today. And hopefully that's going to be the case. I'm not real sure on that. One saving grace about the Thursday night game, and I'm not 100% on this, so, you know, just real quick disclaimer on this, but if I remember correctly, Last time Broncos went on the road into Kansas City on a Thursday night game, they won. I might be mistaken on that. I may need to look and backtrack. I'm pretty sure Mahomes got us in one of those. Very confident about that. But I'm not 100% sure on that because I remember a lot of those being Sundays or Monday nights for that matter. Who knows? Either way, let me know what you guys think. Do you like the win? Are we hyped? Should we be hyped? I mean, is there something to actually look forward to? Did Vance Joseph actually save his job? You know what it is. Let me know down below. Like, share, subscribe. You know the rest of that. I'm going to get at y'all. Let's fucking go, y'all.